Twitter and bad decisions go together like spaghetti and meatballs, and it brings me no joy to keep talking about Twitter continuously getting worse with more and more embarrassing changes that keep hitting the platform. I would love to be talking about it getting better, right? Talking about like, oh man, Twitter's introducing an amazing change and people are, pumping their fists in celebration. But that is just not the utopia we live in. That Narnia doesn't exist. Right now, we're cursed with this brain rot Twitter that only somehow continues to fester and ooze. And what we're talking about today is its latest fumble with a new bad decision. It's actually been a whole handful of goofy changes, but I'm just going to focus on the silliest ones. So let's get into the cream of the crop, the biggest one people are talking about right now, the legacy checkmarks. For a few months now, Elon Musk was saying it needs a drastic overhaul. I've got my finger on the trigger and I'm about to just blow the fucking brains out of these check marks. He was going to eradicate the old blue check marks, letting everyone know it's about to go extinct like the dinosaurs. Elon Musk was coming in, dropping the asteroid. The only check marks that would exist after April 1st of this year were going to be the Twitter blue check marks, the paid ones, $8 a month, flushed right down the shitter. Those would be the only blue check marks left. Well, it looks like we all survived Armageddon because it's April 2nd and there's only been one minor tweak to the blue checkmark system. This is kind of like when the Mayan calendar stopped at 2012, but then we hit 2012 and kept going, so people were curious about like, oh wow, how did we, what happened to the end of the world? That's what's got everyone scratching their head right now because the blue checkmark system is exactly the fucking same, except now the wording on them is changed. So everyone that had a legacy checkmark before the purge still has it. There was no purge. It was a false flag operation, I guess. All that changed is how they explain it. So now, if you look at any check mark, they all say the same thing, which is this account is verified because it's subscribed to Twitter Blue or is a legacy verified account. It's such a minor tweak and not at all what it was hyped up to be. This really feels like it was running defense for the feelings of people who paid $8 for Twitter Blue and kept getting bullied because it proudly showcased that they are verified because they paid for it. So they were being relentlessly bullied all over Twitter for anyone that bought the service. Now, this muddies the waters, so you'll never know if that checkmark is from someone that paid for it or if they were a important person with a legacy verification checkmark. It really feels like it was just to protect the feelings of those pay piggies that were dumping the $8. So that was pretty lame and disappointing, but if you are a Twitter Blue subscriber, now's the time to rejoice. You'll be able to sleep easier at night knowing that people won't be able to laugh and spit on you as easily as before since they won't know if you're dumping the $8 a month for that checkmark. But there have been a couple other changes that I think are worth mentioning here since we're talking about it, and one of them is about the other two badges. So there's also a gray badge in addition to the blue one. This is a completely different badge, and it's reserved for government officials or politically powerful people. It goes to them. That's not something you can buy. That is something that you have bestowed upon you, like Elon Musk personally knighting you with the gray badge on the platform for the politically powerful people. And there's really nothing I think that's wrong with that. I actually think that's probably a pretty good idea, so that way people don't ever really get confused. But one thing that I don't really like about it is that it's gray. And sometimes when I'm just scrolling, since I'm on dark mode, I don't even notice if there's a check mark there. So sometimes I just think that it's a troll account or something. They should make it more obvious. They should have made that one fucking glisten. Like have it be red with flames coming off of it. Maybe like sound effects, fucking fireworks blasting off like you just hit 99 in a skill in RuneScape. Like that one they should have went hog wild on. But regardless, there's another badge as well, and this one's for corporations. That's the gold badge, the little Mario coin. So the gold badge is interesting. The gold badge is for brands and companies, nonprofits, any of that, and it costs $1,000 per month in addition to an extra $50 per month for each affiliate sub-account, i.e. employees, brands, or divisions. But there is an exemption here. The top 10,000 most followed brands, companies, and organizations that have already been verified will be exempt from the $1,000 monthly fee. So if you're like a startup business and you want the gold badge to help solidify to customers that this is the official brand account, well then I hope you've got your pocketbook at the ready because you're going to need to pony up at least $1,000 per month for that bitch. That is not cheap whatsoever. And I actually would be super insulted if I was a startup business that would find value in that gold badge, because the top 10,000 most followed corporate accounts, as well as just its 500 largest advertisers, are being grandfathered into it for free. These are massive corporations that could easily afford the $1,000 per month charge without feeling shit. Meanwhile, you got mom and pop Wiggleberry who just launched their artisan candle business that really wanted the gold checkmark to try and extend their reach online, and they're gonna have to fork out a fucking ton for it. So that would be pretty insulting as a small business owner who might want the gold checkmark. I don't think it's necessary whatsoever. I don't think the gold checkmark's going to necessarily be hitting home runs for your bottom line and getting you more customers. But I have heard from a few small businesses and nonprofits that aren't going to be, with the waived fee here, that were very upset about it. And I do understand why they would be, because again, that is expensive for smaller businesses. Meanwhile, the businesses that are already huge that could easily afford it don't have to. They don't have to eat the cost at all. Instead, it's coming from smaller businesses, which is weird. That seems kind of backwards to me, but whatever. I thought that was at least worth mentioning, because $1,000 per month for a fucking badge on Twitter is in and of itself a wonderful joke. Now, the last change that I'd like to discuss is one that kind of branches off of a bigger topic. What is the value of even being verified on Twitter? Well, I think the answer is nothing. I think there is absolutely no fucking value in being verified on Twitter. One of the things Elon Musk has been hyping up for a while is monetization options, but as of right now, they're non-existent. There's really no such thing as like Twitter monetization. You're not going to make a living off of just fucking shitposting tweets with a verified account. At least not yet. Though I do wonder if he is like genuinely exploring that to see if there is a way to have content on Twitter generate ad revenue for its Twitter Blue subscribers to incentivize them to keep posting. I think that's the plan. It's just not fully realized yet. So as of right now, it is completely worthless to have the check mark. It doesn't give you any kind of big priority in comments, at least not that I've seen. It doesn't offer you any useful tools outside of the ability to review a tweet before sending it or make like an edit to it, which who really gives a fuck? It's Twitter. You could just delete the tweet if you want to. It's very simple and very quick already. It just seems like a complete waste of money. But with a recent announcement from Musk, it seems like he's really trying to make Twitter Blue a requirement to even use the platform effectively. So the change is that only verified users will show up in the recommended feed, and also that only verified accounts will even appear in the Twitter's For You feed, making the claim that this is the only realistic way to address advanced AI bot swarms taking over. It goes into effect on April 15th, and also voting in polls will require verification for the same reason. I don't really care too much about the poll voting shit. That doesn't matter at all to me. Twitter polls are completely fucking useless. But the shutting out non-verified accounts from For You recommendations, that's a load of horseradish right there, especially with the reason given to stop AI bot swarms. This feels like a totally different tone and attitude here, as opposed to the old Elon, the bold Elon, who went to war with bots right away when he took over the platform, stating that he was going to make sure bots and all of those troll fake accounts weren't going to be an issue anymore, and he had so many plans to get rid of it. Now he's saying it's a losing battle without just taking off unverified accounts from the For You recommendation page. What the fuck happened? Yeah, they won, I guess? Jesus Christ. That's a weird way of combating that. There's plenty of other ways of combating bots that don't involve just slapping the people that aren't paying $8 a month. I don't think I need to explain why this is a terrible decision. Everyone was dunking on him for this one. Even the biggest of supporters for Musk were pretty put off by this because it just does seem weak, no matter how you spin it, saying it's a losing battle unless he turns off a pretty crucial component to the service, which is allowing unverified accounts, any account, to show up on the For You recommendations based on algorithms and shit. Like, that has been a core part of Twitter for a while now, so taking that away, stating like he's going to lose to bots if he doesn't, is very weird and not a great look. And since we're on the topic of For You, I want to quickly just ask, what the fuck is going on with For You on Twitter? I talked about this on stream and everyone's having the exact same experience over the last couple months, where every time you go on, there's just random death and gore videos, like out the wazoo. Every time I scroll through Twitter for more than like 3 or 4 seconds, I'll inevitably scroll past someone just getting shot somewhere in a video of it, or like a fight that broke out that led to someone getting killed. And it's not even based on my previous viewing. Like I don't go out of my way to watch like best gore on Twitter or anything. Like it's out of nowhere and everyone seems to be having a similar experience. And if it's not death and gore videos, it's for some reason other horrific shit that's not even viral. Like they're not even viral clips. I don't understand why it's doing that. I don't know if it's by design or if there's just something that's got a little funky in there, but it's certainly odd. And I just wanted to at least mention that briefly. But overall, these are not amazing changes so far for Twitter. Maybe they'll get it together and start pumping out some great ones, but man, it has been a load of L's for that platform. Elon Musk bought it not too long ago for $44 billion, and it is currently valued at roughly like $20 billion. So not exactly seeing the best of returns at the moment, and doesn't really seem to have the best of ideas. But who knows, maybe it'll start to really pick itself up. That's about it. So yeah.